Everyone, I'm Suguna, Assistant Professor from Computer Science and Engineering Department from SNS College of Technology. Today, we are going to learn an important concept from JavaScript, that is the DOM tree. So this topic belongs to full stack development, and this is very important for user interface development, interviews, and also for the real-time projects. So here is an icebreaker question. Let me start with a simple question. When you click a button on a website, how does the page change without reloading? So just think it of this, okay? So for example, a data selection in booking site. So quantity change in a cart or showing or hiding the content. So all this happens because of DOM tree, okay? So let's look at the problem statement. So a travel booking website receives a complaint that the data selection widget does not update it dynamically when the user changes the option. This leads to poor user experience and user frustration and also the loss of trust. So the problem is dynamic UI update becomes failure in this website. So let's empathize. Now let's empathize with in the point of developer. So the developer feels that he or she may be confused about how event listeners work, and they were unsure how JavaScript interacts with the HTML, and they find it very difficult to debug the DOM issues. This is a very common problem for the beginners. So let's define this problem. Now let's clearly define this issue. The developer lacks a clear lacks it they having the lack of clear model of DOM structure. They does not understand the hierarchy of DOM and is unsure how JavaScript actually changes the page elements. So without understanding the DOM tree, UI manipulation becomes very difficult. So let's understand the challenges faced by the developer. So the main challenges are they are very difficulty in understanding the parent-child relationship in the DOM structure and confusion between the elements, attributes and text, not knowing where to apply the JavaScript logic. This is why visualizing DOM as a tree structure is very important for any developer or beginner for the full stack development or web app development. So for this issue, we have to go for the ideate phase. So we are having the possible solution for this issue. So let's we think of the solution. So what are all the possible solutions to overcome these issues? So possible solution includes we have to visualize the DOM as a tree, document object model as a tree, and we have to use document.getElementById function and query selector function. The third idea is to create a small interactive prototype, and the fourth one is we can use the Chrome Dev tools to inspect the document object model in the real time. So these are all the possible solutions. From this, the best approach is we have to understand the document object model in the form of tree, plus we have to have some practical live manipulation session to understand this. So this is the prototype. So this is a prototype tree for the simple HTML page. So let's see a simple HTML example. Here we have a body tag. In the header tag we had given a welcome message, and we have an ID called box, and in that paragraph text we have given a text as hello user. So in this DOM tree, the document is the root, body is the parent. So in this structure here, the document is the root, body is the parent, H1 and div are the children, P is the child of D. So this is a hierarchical structure, helps the JavaScript to locate the element easily. So and also by using JavaScript, we can access the elements and we can able to change the text, we can able to update the styles, and it is used for responding to the user action. So example, when a user clicks on the button, it updates the content, date changes update in the booking information. This interaction happens through the DOM tree structure only. So this is the prototype outcome. Here the outcome is UI will updates instantly, so it has a better user experience and they have fewer errors in the web page, and it is very easy to debug. A clear understanding of DOM makes the UI development simple and more powerful. So here is the testing phase. So the testing is done using browser inspection, console logging, verifying the event listeners, and checking current element selection. So testing will ensure the DOM behaves as expected or not. And these are all some of the applications of DOM tree. DOM tree is used in dynamic website, form validation, single page application, interactive dashboard, modern frameworks like React and Angular.js. So DOM knowledge is mandatory for all the front-end developers. So to understand this DOM concept clearly, here I have given some activity. So you have to select element using ID and class. You have to change the text dynamically, add a click event, observe DOM changes in dev tools. So this means you can able to understand how the DOM will represent the HTML as a tree and how JavaScript uses DOM to control your user interactive to control your UI, and it also helps to understand DOM, which is very required for the web development. So just try this activity to understand the DOM in a depth manner. So if you have any doubts, you can comment me. So thank you all for watching this video. Thank you.